going on, you guys? So I'm going to do a little something different today. I'm going to have a little bit few boxing videos a little later, but this UFC, usually when Jon Jones fights, or it's a stacked card like the one we're getting this weekend, it catches my interest. You know, this next event, UFC 239, is a stacked card, pretty much from top to bottom. It's a very familiar list of names on that card. Of course, Jon Jones is the headliner. Man, let's talk about it, man. I mean, shit. Where my UFC fans at? Where my fight fans at? You know what I'm saying? Where my fight fans at? I like all this fighting shit because I understand it. All right? I understand who these people are. You know, I try to stay in tune with the UFC. It's a lot of new dudes, though. You know, I'm not as hardcore as I once was. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to get back into it on a hardcore level, but it is a stacked fucking card, and it's a lot of familiar names on here. But like I said, it's a lot of guys that I never heard of before. UFC got a lot of fucking dudes now, a lot of people. You know, guys like Zabit, you know, who I think is fucking dope. The Abraham Lincoln looking dude, the Russian Abraham Lincoln looking guy. He's dope. Man, it's just a whole ton of new talent coming up. A lot of these guys are very skilled. The dudes that be scouting these fighters are doing a great job. The matchmakers are doing a great job. The UFC put up, every time I turn on UFC, I'm interested in the fight that's being shown. Every fucking time. And sadly, it's not the same for boxing. But for the UFC, these dudes be fighting. Even the guys you don't know who they are, they be fighting. They be fighting, man. These MMA fighters, man, you got to respect them. I got a tremendous amount of respect for UFC fighters. I really don't have nothing bad to say about a lot of these guys. Part of the reason being because I don't know the storylines, a lot of the storylines. But, yeah, let's talk about it, man. We got Jon Jones versus Thiago Santos. Amanda Nunes versus Holly Holm. A doubleheader title fight. I mean, Ben Askren versus Jorge Masvidal. Luke Rockhold versus Jan Blachowicz. Michael Chiesa versus Diego Sanchez. Diego Sanchez is still around. Gilbert Melendez is still around versus Arnold Allen. A lot of these guys from here on bottom, I don't know who these dudes are. I'm not even going to front. Marlon Vera versus Noeline Hernandez. I never heard of these guys. A lot of them are smaller guys. Ishmael Naridvev versus Chance. I don't know who these guys are. I mean, I'm not even going to lie. I'm going to watch the fight and find out who they are, but I mean, we got Gilbert Melendez still fighting. I know his wife was very good at kickboxing. I think she transferred to MMA now. But he seems like he's a great coach for his wife. He's a commentator type guy, I think, now. But I guess Gilbert Melendez still got the itch to fight. You know, at one point, he was one of the best lightweights in the world at one point. Michael Chiesa, I think he's an Ultimate Fighter winner, if I'm not mistaken. He's kind of one of the newer generation guys that I kind of missed out on, but I know who he is. You know, he's a guy with a bad temper. I think he moved up in welterweight and smoked. Who he smoked? He smoked a good opponent his last fight. Very good opponent. He looked real good at welterweight. Michael Chiesa. He usually campaigned at lightweight for the longest. He's an Ultimate Fighter guy. Diego Sanchez is another Ultimate Fighter guy. I think he's like he's the original Ultimate Fighter. I think he was an Ultimate Fighter. I want to say the first one. I want to say Diego Sanchez, either the first or the second Ultimate Fighter. Still around. You know, I heard he left. Mike Winklejohn and Jackson, MMA. I heard he left Jon Jones' team. I heard I guess he wasn't getting the attention that he deserved. And rightfully so. Diego Sanchez is a guy, he's been around for a long time. Tough fight for anybody. Had his ups and downs. Respect to Diego Sanchez all day. Luke Rockhold, Jan Blach. I don't know much about Jan, but I do know who Luke Rockhold is. Luke Rockhold he was a middleweight in Strikeforce champion. He was a top middleweight in Strikeforce till UFC bought him out. Then he went over to UFC, got the belt from I forgot who he beat for the belt. I forgot, but I know Michael Bisping came out of nowhere and beat him on a short notice. I know that. But Luke Rockhold is a skilled fighter. I'm not sure he is now. He's at 205 now. He's at 205, so he ain't got to kill himself now to make 185. Now he's a little older. Luke Rockhold looked like a guy who aged a lot. Since him first arriving, even to the UFC, he aged quite a bit, man. He aged quite a bit. You know, maybe he was stressing, you know, over his losses. You know, but Luke Rockhold is a very skilled fighter, good on the ground, good striking, very technical, good kicks, good speed. You know, he's a real good fighter. But, you know, he got stopped by Yoel Morero, one of the hardest punchers in the game. And who else he got stopped by? Michael Bisping, out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I think he got beat up by David Branch as well. David Branch beat him up too out of nowhere. So he has some, you know, that's what happens in MMA, man. When you constantly fighting top guys, not everybody's gonna, you know, come out like a John Jones. Then we got Jorge Masvidal versus Ben Askren. Jorge Masvidal was a street fighter that beat up one of Kimbo Slice's boys back in the day. How many of y'all know about that? You know, Masvidal been fighting for a long fucking time. I'm talking about back when Kimbo first, you know, you first started hearing about Kimbo Slice on the internet. Jorge Masvidal was street fighting. You know what I'm saying? He had the long hair and shit. He was throwing them bombs. He was throwing some hands. He could fight back then. And he translated. He's been in the strike force. And now he's in the UFC. He's been one of the top fighters for a long time now. Jorge Masvidal been around for a while. Very good fighter. Good boxing, good head movement. Just all around good game. Ben Askren is a guy who's long overdue in the UFC. He should have been in the UFC years ago. Strong wrestler. He was an arrogant asshole. He seemed, back in the day before he came to the UFC years ago, he seemed like an arrogant asshole. He didn't seem like he was very, like he is now. You know, he seems like a very likable, witty dude. He seemed like he always know what to say, when to say it. You know, he seems like he's very, just you give him a microphone, he'll have people interest. You know, he seemed like a whole different guy almost. He looked like a whole different dude. Man, them dudes be aging quick, man. You know what I'm saying? Them dudes be aging quick, man. He aged quick as fuck. These MMA fighters be aging. But, yeah, Ben Askren, strong wrestler. He beat Robbie Lawler by a fucking bulldog headlock. Like a regular old school schoolyard headlock he had him in. The ref stopped the fight. A lot of people felt it was controversial. Jorge Masvidal hates Ben Askren. He wants to fucking kill him. Ben Askren's like, what you so mad for, bro? Like, you know, Ben Askren's all nonchalant, kind of, you know, sarcastic about the whole situation. He said, keep this guy away from me. This guy's crazy. He's likely to fuck up the fight. The Jorge Masvidal swings off on dudes. He's a wild card. He's a Cuban wild man. You know what I'm saying? He ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? Street dude. He ain't playing. But Ben Askren, Jorge Masvidal should be interested to see if Ben Askren can implement his strong wrestling, because he's really not a striker at all. He's a pure wrestler. He's literally a fucking wrestler fighting in the UFC. You might as well put the little headgear on with the covering up the ears and let him wear the little wrestler outfit and let him go to work. He don't even need no MMA gloves. That's Ben Askren. Pure fucking wrestler. Holly Holm. Hardcore Holly Holm. That's what I call it. Holly Holm, my girl, former boxer, turned MMA fighter / kickboxer. She's just everything. Holly Holm is probably one of the greatest female fighters of all time. I want to do a little video on her one of these days. Maybe, hopefully she wins this weekend. I like Amanda Nunes too, don't get me wrong, but Holly Holm, older chick, you know, accomplished a lot in boxing, accomplished a lot in the UFC and MMA. Very talented, very fast learner, just always in shape, always disciplined. Holly Holm is, I mean, what could you say about Holly Holm, you know? I mean, she could fight, very good technique. Very disciplined in there when she's fighting. Took some losses, but you know that's the UFC for you, man. You know, Amanda Nunes. I mean, shit. She faced off against the Bullet Valentina Shevchenko. She faced off against. She beat Miesha Tate. She beat Ronda Rousey. She beat Chris Cyborg. I mean, she's arguably the greatest female MMA fighter of all time. And if she gets past Holly Holm tomorrow, that will solidify that, in my opinion. You know, Amanda Nunes, the lioness. She could throw some hands. Them Brazilian girls are a different breed. You know, Brazilian chicks, they are a different breed. They're just a whole nother type of woman. You know, you look at some of these Brazilian fighters, the Brazilian female fighters. They just ferocious, vicious. You know. This is what it seems like, ain't it? Like all them Brazilian chicks just on a whole nother just intensity level from the American chicks. The American chicks, a lot of them girls be looking good and they fight good technique, but they still fight like girls. You know? But these Brazilian women, man, please. Good fight. I can't call it. I don't know who I'm got winning. Holly Holm won me some money against Ronda Rousey. She won me some money. So I love Holly Holm. You know what I'm saying? But Amanda Nunes, I don't know, man. I say it's 60-40. I give it 60-40. I'm not about to just say she's going to run through Holly. Holly is a very experienced fighter. And then we got the main event, Johnny Bones Jones versus Thiago Santos. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm not too familiar with Thiago, but I have been doing my homework on him for the past few days. Ooh, excuse me. Dude is a fucking wild man, okay? The dude is a fucking wild man. This fight going to be good. A lot of people kind of overlooking this fight because, you know, it's Jon Jones and he just so much better than everybody else. But I think this fight is going to be fun as long as it lasts. If Thiago Santos comes out and fights how he fights and does what he does, that fight could be very, very interesting and very entertaining, in my opinion. Thiago Santos, I mean, the dude has power, he has speed, he has endurance, he has durability. He took some losses, you know. He's a guy coming up from middleweight. So, you know. But he has, I think, 21-6? But he beat a lot of good guys. He's beat a lot of good guys. I mean, his losses may have been a little bit earlier in his career or so whatnot. But, you know, dude he's a ferocious dude, man. I mean, a wild man. He does shit that you just don't supposed to do, but he do it anyway. He don't care. He's just totally unpredictable. He kind of reminds me of a Vanderlei Silva mixed with like Mauricio Shogun Rua. You know, kind of like that. He had that ferocity and just aggressiveness like Vanderlei, and he's wild like Shogun. You know what I'm saying? Even more so wild than Shogun. This dude just a wild man. He said fuck gas. He said fuck stamina. That's what he say. You know, I don't think he ever been 5 rounds. Knock puncher. Strong dude. Interesting to see if Jon Jones could take his punch. Jon Jones been able to take some good punches. Whenever he do get, he take it well. You know, Jon Jones. I mean, what more could I say about Jon Jones? You know, had a very controversial career outside of the ring. Jon Jones is a guy who, I mean, Jon Jones. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I used to hate Jon Jones. Years ago, I hated Jon Jones. I couldn't stand him. You know, for the obvious reasons. He seemed fake, like he was just putting up a little act. And also because he was beating up all my dudes. My guy Rashad, he beat up my boy Rampage, he beat up my boy Machida, he was beat up Shogun, he beat up all my fucking dudes I grew up watching. Shogun, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Heartbroken. But Jon Jones, what won me over as a fan of Jon Jones is the fight with Alexander Gustafsson, the first fight. That showed me everything I need to know. And then from then on, I've been a fan. I'm like, okay, this dude is really the real deal. He's just not some bigger, longer dude taking advantage of these shorter dudes. You know what I'm saying? Jon Jones fought Gus in a war. You know what I'm saying? He showed grit. He showed heart. He showed the will of a champion. That's what I need to see sometimes. Jon Jones put it all out there. You know, Israel Adesanya in his last fight, this past, April, showed us a lot of dog, a lot of grit, a lot of heart. You know, showed us different intangibles that he can really go. But more on Israel a little later. I got a little thing I want to talk about with him and Jon Jones. You know, the beef, the rivalry between him and Jon Jones. I'm going to talk about that a little later. I'm going to get something nice together for y'all about that one. But Jon Jones is the fucking man, okay? I used to hate this guy. If you know me, you know what I'm saying? Back around that time, back when, Jon Jones was starting UFC, man, I hated Jon Jones. I didn't like him. I knew he was good, but like, man, get this, man, I didn't like him. I was an Anderson Silva guy. Like, get Jon Jones up out of here. But Jon Jones is really fucking good. He's talented. He has the high IQ. I mean, he's the complete mixed martial artist. Complete. Ground game, ridiculous. Strong as a fucking bull. Could take a punch. I mean, Jon Jones is he's probably the best of all time for real. MMA. You know, of course he has his problems outside the ring. But hey, the fans seem to love him. He seemed to be matured as a man. You know, all that good shit, man. You know, I'm not about to, you know, break this man down, I'm not about to break him down. And, you know, y'all know, if you follow MMA, you know Jon Jones seems to be really at home now. You know, this video was a lot longer than I thought, but there's a lot to talk about with this UFC shit, man. They gave us a full fucking card. A real card. You know, and I would like to start talking more UFC, MMA, because these dudes fight, man. There's not too much bullshit, diva shit going on. There's not too many dudes, you know. It's not too much of that, man. We're getting a Khabib, Dustin Poirier, they fight. No problems. No A side, B side. No guy, I want this person. I want that. I want this. I want my nails done first. None of that. Love mixed martial artists, man. Martial artists. That's the key word. Martial artists usually want to test themselves. That's what it's about for a lot of guys. But, yeah, man, good card. UFC 239. I can't wait to see it. A lot of good fights. Every fight might be good. Right now, when it's looking, I don't even know these guys' name, but a lot of these no-name guys got a lot to prove. So, expect a real good fucking fight card tomorrow. I'm definitely tuning in. Yeah, man, tell me what you guys think, man. It's a long-ass video. I'm sorry it was this long, but, you know, it is what it is, man. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.